TPCSI fans, you want to revolutionize your sports investing habits? Allow me to tell you about WagerWire. WagerWire is an app that helps you become a superior bettor by allowing you to sync all your sports books and track all your bets in one place. See your current action, your betting history, and stats. You could also sign up for sports books and collect bonus offers. Follow them at WagerWire on X, as it's the best account on the platform. Head to App Store or Play Store now and search WagerWire and download the app.
2,000 years long, we will never settle. Hard days, no way, with a heavy metal. No time, no fail, won't stop here. Like a torch to a flame when it burns hot. Won't stop, come on, baby, higher.
From the ECSI Sports Studios and the #1 sports investors in America, we bring you the closing bell. As the market closes, legends Jeff Dawson and Riley Magnuson bring you all the sports investing tips for tonight's matchups. If you want to learn more from the two legends at the desk, make sure you stay tuned to the closing bell.
Good afternoon, sports fans from all around the globe. I am the co-host, Jeff Dawson, East Coast Sports Investors. That time of the day for the closing bell for Tuesday, August 13th, 2024. A recap of last night. Welcome back, Mookie Betts with a plus 500 home run. That was nice. Tough board last night, and hey, God bless you if you had the White Sox, Mr. Right, the stunner of all stunners. I think at one point plus 300. Pre-flop 11-2 spanking of the Yanks. Tough board tonight. That phrase, study long, study wrong, is really playing tricks on me. One game hit the system real early this morning last night. I'm sticking with it. Actually went $10 the other way, so maybe that's a good thing. I don't know. But first and foremost, a shout out to our proud partners and sponsorships. Of course, it's WagerWire. Download the app over to Google Play, wherever you download the apps. It's free. Travis, Zach, myself, Amber. The list is endless, Mr. J. Berry. And I could go on and on and on. Go in places. Get involved. Join this community now. The good thing about it, when you download the app, scroll to the bottom. Take a look at all the sports books that are available in your state. Download those. Start taking advantage of the promos, the match plays, the bonus offers. From there, myself, Riley, the rest of the ECSI team in the fall, going to do a lot of work on the app, RT Sports. We're going to put together some parlays, buy, sell. So a lot of education, a lot of profit, and a lot of fun coming your way for this fall and, of course, through 2025. And, of course, Viva Tequila Seltzer, new flavor of the summer, coconut. Hey, CT, I need a shipment of coconut. I got everything but, so just a little jab there, CT. So everyone, head where you get your local beverages, whether it's the package store, whether you're out at a sports bar watching a few games, if you're at the Boston Garden, take advantage of Viva Tequila Seltzer. Tell them JD from ECSI sent you. Riley, it's got to be you. I'm telling you. Now I get the hiccups again when I start the show. That's back-to-back nights. So without further ado, the co-star of the show, Southside Riley himself, the White Sox, with a one-game winning streak, Mr. Riley Magnuson. What's up, Chip?
What is up, my friend? You got the hiccups from drinking too much of that White Sox Kool-Aid after that win yesterday. You're drinking the plus 240 again today. I bet it was what it is over there. The White Sox Kool-Aid, that'll give you hiccups all year long if you're not careful there. So no, it was a shocker. Obviously, they had plenty more chances earlier in the game as well, but not Not holding my breath for anything else too much here. I'm sure the Yankees will wake up a little bit here. We talked. That was a situation where White Sox have the day off, don't have to travel anywhere, and the Yankees got to play 3 games over the weekend and then travel to Chicago. So whether or not that was the reason why the White Sox get their first win on a Monday in 2024, my friend, or not, I don't know. But that is obviously not something you typically hear come mid-August. Team getting their first win on a random day of the week. But nonetheless, we are here again, my friend. We've got a, like you said, tough board, but for the most part, a pretty big slate still here to come tonight. So a couple good pitching matchups. So ready to rock and roll, my friend.
ECSI VIPs, one play last night. Minnesota Twins, first 5 minus the hook, minus 113. Of course, Bobby Witt starts off the game with a homer, and then there's another one, 2-0. I'm like, yeah. Damn Royals, they're the toughest team to figure out. 2 outs, bottom of the third, the Twins, and next thing I know, I go back and it's 6-2. I'm like, holy cow, thank you very much. That's 11 MLB winners in a row for the ECSI VIP. The last 44 games, 31, 11, and 2. Just an insane end of July start to August. Our greatest end of July start to August in our 9.5-year history. August has always been that tough month. You don't want to wave the white flag when baseball's not going their way. I'm not the public running to football. We still do CFL, UFC, futures, golf, and stuff. But my point is, baseball's either clicking or it's not. And we talk about the grind and the marathon approach. But, when it's win one, lose two, win one, lose two. And for us, as you know, obviously, we don't give out minus 130s, 135s, because when you win one, lose two, now you're down 1.35 units. Win one, lose two. Now you're down 2.7. Next thing you know, you're staring at a 3-6 record and you're down 5.5 units.
Right, and that's obviously something that I think people are still trying to grasp of as far as depending on what the volume you play is, that can set you up for some issues there. And I mean, baseball is one that obviously you have to deal with that a little bit more than some other sports, especially when we're talking spreads, obviously, and basketball and football being an option. So for anyone with betting on baseball, you have to look at obviously you have to look at every option or more than one option in all sports, but obviously baseball, sometimes you really got to peel that onion back a little further to find the best possible play and not avoid even if you love a team and they're minus 135, there's usually other ways to get into that at a better price.
Of course, and I love the way you said that. Lots of times, what we try to do is turn the favorite into a dog or even money. You get a lot of minus 150s or 60s. If you like that pitch and matchup, maybe dig into the first 5 minus the half run. Yes, if it's tied, you lose. I get that. But if you lose the first 5 outright, you're not losing 170. You're only, losing a unit or minus 105 or plus 105. So you're losing that 1 unit there. In the alert today, I sent out, they're dropping like flies in the NFL here as we get closer. We're 4 weeks away from the official first week of football. Of course, Thursday night football, the Ravens travel to Kansas City. Then Riley's Green Bay Packers will face the Philadelphia Eagles in Brazil on Friday. And then, of course, the first official full Sunday and then Monday night football. My point is, for the fantasy football players, you do all this work months and months and months, and you're doing drafts here. I think I've completed, I got about 15, 16 drafts I've already completed, whether they were small 30-round draft champions, set them and forget them, or actual online championships for the NFFC. My point is, be careful when you just start scratching people off the board, reading doctor's updates, because I'll use a couple examples here. Hollywood Brown, who couldn't do it with the Ravens and Lamar, couldn't do it in Arizona with Kyler, gets his perfect home in Kansas City, of course, with Patrick Mahomes. First play gets hit almost, they called it like a car crash accident. It was the shoulder, but I think it's right here in the middle. So 4 to 6 weeks, which means this. If you're still going to cross him off, go ahead, cross him off. I don't care. But my point is, he's going to slide a couple rounds. And so just figure it this way. He's probably not playing week 1 or 2, and he'll be ready for week 3, 4 or 5. Okay, we don't know about the Raishi Rice if he's getting suspended. The big uproar last night, Jamar Gibbs leaves with a hamstring. Well, I've been drafting David Montgomery in the 6-7 turn in every draft here. It was the perfect honey hole. And now we don't know the severity of Jamar Gibbs. He's been going late first round. He now Saquon Barkley and Jonathan Taylor moved in front of him. Now he's going at the turn in the 1-2 turn there. And of course, J.J. McCarthy, who had a great debut, had some issues with the knee. They go in, they take a look. There is a meniscus tear. So the doctors have to decide two things. We're going to go in and trim, which is 4 to 6 weeks. Or we're going to go in there and cut and fix this damage here, which he'll most likely be out for the year. So obviously, if he's got the second half there, you're not going to need to draft him. He wasn't probably starting until week 4, 5, or 6 anyways. But there's a million injuries. Tracy from the backup for the Giants, ankle sprain, they said there, but they're dropping like flies. Just keep an eye on that. I didn't want anyone to wave the white flags, and I despise it. That's why we wait. We don't draft till the last preseason's game's over. Okay, I get it. And then you draft that team, and they go out the first week, and 4 guys are done for the year. So it doesn't matter. So, as I said, tough board here. We got golf tomorrow, 5 p.m., Brady Kannon, the St. Jude Championship. The top 70 golfers in the PGA in the world will be fighting where 50 advance to the next week. And then after that week, the top 30 go to fight it out for the FedEx Cup. Scotty Scheffler, currently number 1. Xander Schauffele, number 2. And I think Rory, number 3. And I think Oberg, 4. Is that right? Oberg,
no,
4?
Morikawa, 4.
Okay, and then Oberg 5. So Stableford scoring. Scotty starts 10, Scheffler 8, -8, and then
I'm sorry.
the rest.
Were you talking odds? I thought you were talking odds for this weekend. I'm sorry.
No. I'm talking when we get to the FedEx Cup. But
okay,
so this week, no, stay there. This week, Scheffler. Give us the odds for the top 5 right now for this week.
Yep. So let me just verify. Yeah, you. No, actually, I still. Colin Morikawa is still number 4 in the standings for that. Wyndham Clark 5th somehow after the season he's having. I still don't quite understand that one. And then Ludwig actually is 6th. But it was. I mean, the odds of this tournament themselves are almost identical to that. So that's why I thought you were rattling off those odds. But Scotty 330, Xander 7-1, Rory 9-1, Morikawa 12-1. And this is all on DraftKings. Oberg 20-1, as well as Patrick Cantlay 20-1, who has had an interesting season. Who a lot of times has had those type of odds backed off. The books have backed off of those odds for a bit of time there because he wasn't really performing. Now we're kind of seeing him right back up in there this weekend there. So that one's interesting to me there. And then you've got Matsuyama and Fleetwood 25-1 there.
You know, and I'm going to be fascinated talking to Brady tomorrow because, you know, for me, there's so many of these guys that are locked into the top 30 3 weeks from now. Okay. Yeah. And so for me, and I suppose Brady will be the same. You're probably not looking at the top of the board. In other words, at a Scotty, you're not looking at a Schauffele. And I don't know about Morikawa. Those 3 were all at the Olympics with Wyndham Clark. So again, it'll be interesting to see where Brady's eyes are here. But you know, you kind of want to, for me, especially top 20s, you want to look to guys that need a good week to survive to get to the next week, Riley.
Right, and I'm just trying to look at. I mean, not so much a survivor, but I mean, a guy like Aaron Rye is on top of surviving to the next week. You got Aaron Rye at 25th place, building off of number 1 spot from this past weekend. Obviously wants to, doesn't want to wait until he's in the top 30 and he's in, 25th place. He wants to get himself up as high as he can. So you can look at it from that angle as well. But I mean, Tommy Fleetwood's outside the top 30 right now. Max Homa, Cam Young outside the top 30. Siwoo Kim. Let's see, Harry English, Victor Hovland, 57th. So that's one guy who's I think 30-1, but 57th for Victor Hovland, 62nd for Minwoo Lee, who hasn't been as strong lately, but I'm without even looking at those numbers, it's kind of surprising me that he's as far down as he is, Min Woo Lee, because he's had some really good finishes this year. But nonetheless, you're absolutely right. There's a lot of guys that are going to be driven to especially whether it be advance or position themselves so they don't have to sweat as much next week and the week after that. So, no, it's always fun. And, I'm sure one of the big dogs there in the top 5 rankings and odds there are probably going to two or three of them are going to show out, obviously. But there's going to be a couple that probably, let their foot off the gas, whether it be intentionally or not, just not needing it as bad and not wanting it as bad. So, obviously expect Scotty to show up, but like you said, a lot of these guys that are up there were in the Olympics a couple weeks ago and, traveling across country, across seas. So interested to see how that goes for these guys.
I'll give you 2 names. I don't know what their odds are. I know they've had shit years. Last year, who was outside looking in was Justin Thomas, and the other one, Jordan Spieth, battling wrist injury, battling this injury. Where do they stand, and what are their odds?
Odds for this weekend, I'll tell you first. Justin Thomas 35-1, not bad at all. Jordan Spieth 65-1. That one, that news has been a little more public this week, so he's obviously not getting much love as far as that is concerned. Justin Thomas is 19th in the standing, so he's definitely fine this week. But obviously another guy that would love to get a lot higher than 19th there to have a better chance of some big money come that final weekend. And then Jordan Spieth, I did see him a second ago. I think he is 63rd. So he's in this field this weekend, but without a nice showing here this weekend, his season is done for.
MLB tonight. Again, my intro. Welcome back, Mookie. 5-1 homer last night. Kind of comical. Some of the naysayers looking back at what the Red Sox have done. Babe Ruth they traded, and of course Mookie Betts. And I had to talk to my good friend, Mr. Thomas, because I guess Colin Cowherd, obviously an LA fan, Dodger fan, was talking and kind of criticizing what the mighty Sox, how could they, a big market, Red Sox, of course, and which they are not now. And I was like, Colin, you are correct. It was the dumbest trade, but the facts of the matter were simple. Mookie made it clear he wanted to go to free agency. He wanted to be coddled. He wanted to feel loved. And word on the street was he didn't want to come back to Boston. Now, don't forget, 2004, we broke the curse, and then we won 4 titles from 2000 in 10 years. Actually, 10, 12 years. So my point here is John Henry and ownership, the Red Sox now become a part of their portfolio. So they buy a soccer team, they buy they're part of NASCAR. They buy a hockey team. Now they're looking into the Celtics. My point is, they did their job. They got their 4 titles. Mookie moves on to greener pastures, no pun intended, of course, there. And they kind of twisted the knife with Xander Bogaerts the year early. They go out and they overspend for a broken down mule called Trevor Story as their insurance policy, saying, hey, we just spent $140 million here, so if you want to stay, we're going to offer you $160. And he was like, yeah, F you. And so he goes to San Diego for 2 and change. So my point is, we have Devers and a cloud of dust. We lose Paxton, it looks like, for the year now with a calf injury here, and we find a way to win. I told you that game, you gotta love team totals when you're the home team, okay? Because I couldn't pay the juice. I thought they'd be 5.5 last night. Well, they were 4.5. Well, the funny thing, 3 extras. And then the Rangers do everyone a solid. They get that 1 run, so it's 4-3. So the Sox got to tie it, which they did 4-4. And then they push that winning run across 5-4, lands on 9. Sox team total cashes, Sox money line cashes. So again, team totals are fun like that when you get the home team and you need 2 runs. So now you're rooting for the away team to get that guy from second in so we can tie it and then get that next one in, or go to the next inning and they both start on second again.
Right, and I've said it before and I'll say it again. It's like that one is a hilarious situation if someone were to be not really know that what your stakes are on it and not know what you have going on. and you're rooting heavily for that team's offense for 9 innings, and then you got to flip like that. But for me, it's the funnier one for me is always basketball when you're rooting for a team. Maybe you got plus 4.5 and the game's tied, and the other team is inbounding it with 2 seconds left, and you're rooting for that team now after 47 minutes and 58 seconds to hit a buzzer beater so that it's over and you get the cover. So that one's my favorite, but same vein.
Yeah, no OT. That's where dogs go to die. We know that. So full slate. You can pick and choose. Again, as I will reiterate to everyone, this board I've been studying since last night, since this morning, since this afternoon. Right now, this board is hard today. There's not a lot that sticks out. But when Riley asks, I'll answer the way my eyes see it and how I'm reading the market today.
Yes, sir. Curious, this one was interesting to me because it's been a guy that I've been following now since he had some great success early on in Miami, and then obviously has kind of fell to the wayside his success and now is in Baltimore. But you've got Trevor Rogers, start 2 or 3 in Baltimore here for the Orioles at home against the Washington Nationals. Jake Irvin for the Nationals, but Rogers, it is start number 3 since coming over. 5 earned runs allowed in his first start at Cleveland. Keeps the runs off the board for the most part, second time out, but gives up 7 hits, only 2 Ks. First time here in Baltimore pitching, though, so, obviously as the home team here, so I'm not sure what type of boost that gives him or pressure that gives him, I don't know. But curious, but you got the Orioles as minus 185 favorites, obviously the better team over the Nationals, but you got Jake Irvin coming in. Couple of rough starts, but has had an okay year for this Washington team. Respecting the minus 185, I guess I don't know what to make of this one with Trevor Rogers on the mound.
Well, here's what I would say. The Orioles have had success with bringing pitchers over and giving them that first home start. They've enjoyed Camden Yards, and they've succeeded pretty well. Irvin and the Nationals has been one of these as favorites. They don't do well as dogs, have been hanging around. And this, don't forget, the Nationals have seen Rogers plenty of times, so it's not going to be the first time that they've seen him as we speak. So anyone backing the Orioles today, here's what I would suggest. You take them first 5 minus the hook if you want to get crazy and hope you get the bad Irvin. I would then take the Orioles full game minus the 1.5. Again, I don't suggest this because I don't preach the fact I don't like home teams with the full 1.5 because you're not guaranteed the 9th inning. If you get to the 9th or extras, you need a 2-run homer, 3-run homer, or a grand slam to walk off and cash that ticket. If you like the Marlins today, I would go this way, lay a little juice, but over 3.5 on your team total right now, and that was minus 130. Baltimore is 4.5 minus 130 as well. So it's a 9. First one to 5 supposedly wins this one. But I think if you like Miami today, I think they're sneaky to get to 4 or better tonight.
Yeah, that one was an interesting one. You got Taijuan Walker on the mound for Phillies against the Marlins there. So that one is an interesting one for sure. Skipping past Cubs and Guardians, you got Matthew Boyd on the mound. His first start in 14 months for Cleveland there. Previously with Detroit, but now signed on by Cleveland this season after a long injury stint there. Very good pitching matchup in Detroit, though, my friend. George Kirby and Tarek Skubal. Tigers 56 and 63. Mariners 63 and 56. Tigers with Skubal on the mound getting the home favorite spot here. Skubal last time out. 7 innings, 3 hits, 2 earned runs against this Mariners team, though. That was a bounce-back start after one ugly one against Kansas City. George Kirby, last time out, kept the runs for the most part down, but 7 hits, 3 runs over 5 innings, 2 bombs, 1 walk, and 7 Ks. So I'd like to clean that up a little bit, obviously, here. Always interesting when you got 2 pitchers that are, facing the same team twice in a row here. But depending on where you're seeing the total, you can get this one. If you're dying for this one to be a low scoring game, you get plus money on the under. Otherwise, the flat number out of this one is a 7, minus 110 both ways there. Any interest out of this one from you? Do you like either of these pitchers more than the other in this one?
Cy Skubal, when the season started, we gave him out to win the American League Cy Young. He's had a great year. Seattle, after their swoon, has bounced back with the addition of Justin Turner, Randy Arozarena. Julio Rodriguez is now officially back. Kirby's been hit or miss. I mean, Scooble at home, I get it. I'm not going to dive into it. I think second time around, there's usually more runs scored, so I would technically lean to the over 7 there, lay the 20 cents. If you like Seattle, team total over 3.5, you can get plus 115 today. So that's where my eyes are. Slight lean to Seattle here. I do lean over the 7, and I do lean to Seattle over 3.5, plus 115.
I don't mind it at all, and yeah, the obviously if you're in love with both these pitchers, then maybe you take the under. But I do like it as kind of what I was alluding to. One of these pitchers could give up 3-4 here after seeing this team last time out. So I'm with you on that one. Interested in maybe a little, whether maybe it's the starters, maybe it's the bullpens, but maybe a little 5-3 winner one way or another here on this one. So Cardinals and Reds. Yesterday the Reds actually take it to the Cardinals 6-1, I believe it was. You've got Eric Fetty on the mound for the Cardinals, start number 3 in St. Louis for him. First one was ugly against the Cubs, 6 hits, 5 earned runs. Last time out, much better, 5 innings, 4 hits, 1 earned runs, 2 walks, 6 Ks for his bounce-back start there again in St. Louis. And Hunter Green, after a really nice stretch, not bad, but at least regressed a little bit in his last time out. 6 innings, 6 hits, 3 earned runs after a really dynamite stretch of 3 hits or less and 6 starts in a row or something like that. So you got the still some respect to Hunter Green as the home team, home favorites here, minus 135. Respecting that, or would you have preferred a bigger number for the way Green has been pitching at some points this season?
It's the Cardinals, and we've been waiting. Preseason, I thought their number was odd. At the All-Star break, I thought it was odd, and they're still just hanging around. I actually lean Cards in a bounce-back spot here. I think they can get the job done in a full game. Plus 116. We've had great success with Hunter Green first 5 innings there, but I'm going to go the other way today. I also like the Cardinals team total over the 4.5, and I can get that at plus 120 as well.
I like it. They threw some interesting home run numbers, and they are not giving us the same numbers here today. Wilson Contreras 330 is the favorite out of this Cardinals team that I am seeing here, my friend.
I could see, again, they gave us the go numbers yesterday, nowhere to be found. So one of those guys will bounce back, whether it's Contreras, whether it's Arenado, or whether it's Goldschmidt here. We'll use the eye test here, and we'll go back to Contreras one more time.
Yeah, Contreras, that would be what I would say out of this one if you were doing something there. Let's see, moving on down the line. You've got the Astros and Rays again yesterday. Astros actually take it to the Rays in that one. You've got Yusei Kikuchi on the mound for the Astros, start number 3 for him there. He's been 2 earned runs each of the last 2, not too bad at all. Still walking a few guys, giving up some base runners, but keeping the runs off those first 2. Shane Baz for Tampa. This is he's been back in the rotation for a month and a half or so. Nothing fantastic, nothing terrible for the most part there for Shane Baz. So Houston minus 125. Another one, I guess. Are we going back to the well? Interested in the Rays here, or are we respecting the number for Shane Baz?
And the funny thing is, we talked about the Rays. The number stunk last night, and Houston early and often now have won 6 in a row. It's that time of year. Houston just getting hot and hotter again without Kyle Tucker, I think. I don't think he's played in months. He's a definite slow healer here. Kikuchi has been absolutely lights out. Great. Everyone thought that Houston overspent. They obviously know what they were getting here. I'll go back to the well. I lean the Rays again, plus 106. As we speak, Jeffrey Benson at the Circa Sportsbook has dropped the 8 under to 7.5. So maybe we're going to get a Shane Baz strong performance here. Cherry on top. Tampa Bay team total over the 3.5. And I'm going to get that at plus 105. So, again, we're going to go back to the Rays here. I know for most parts, again, you don't have to run to the window with the Rays in this game. If you're looking to scratch an itch, again, Astros have won 6 in a row. They do what they do best. It's the second half of the year. It's the middle of August. They're putting together their run to win the division and get themselves situated for a deep playoff run.
I like it. I am trying to look and see what the odds for some homers are in this one. You've got Chris Morel 350. That is the big favorite for the Rays here. Although in the month of so that's I guess I haven't been looking at Chris Morel's numbers this month, but he is 3 for 32 with 0 extra base hits in the month of August here. So I'd like to see one go out of the park first before I'm respecting that number. He hit 2 right off the bat when he came over from Chicago, but 10, 12 games of some ugliness from him. So I'd like to see one go out of the park before I believe in him in tonight's case.
Well, they're giving you the carrot. He's the shortest, so take, if you want some pizza and beer to break the streak, again, Chris Morel plus 330 pizza and beer money. If not, you'll be having some Morel, what is it called, Sloppy Joe or chili. Morel chili, if he doesn't hit one tonight.
There you go. The favorite out of the game itself, though, Yordan Alvarez, 235. So that one could be typically kind of in that range, though, unless it's an ugly number there. So let's see. Moving on to your neck of the woods where you are sitting in front of my friend Rangers and Red Sox. The entertaining game last night. Jose Urena on the mound for the Rangers. A little hit or miss, but was pretty good for some good stretch of the season. Last time out was pretty good, 6 hits, 2 earned runs. The time before that, against this Red Sox team in Texas, 4 innings, 8 hits, 7 earned runs allowed. So it was ugly last time you saw this Red Sox team a couple weeks ago. Cutter Crawford, last 4 starts, 5 and 6 earned runs in each of those last 4 starts. 5 or 6, depending on the game there. So it has been an ugly stretch for Cutter Crawford after a pretty nice stretch for what it's worth before that. Red Sox minus 150 after getting the win last night. Over under 9.5 here. Are we believing in a Cutter Crawford bounce back, or is this more about Jose Urena here kind of falling off the cliff as well?
Overnight was a 10. Okay, under over. As we speak, Jeffrey Benson at the Circa moved the 10 to a 9.5. Cutter Crawford, I think his last 4 starts, I don't know if you can pull it up, or his last 5 starts, I think he's given up a total of like 12 homers. He's given up 3 or 4 homers every game his last 3 or 4 starts. I mean, I know he's given up double digits in his last 4 starts. And as we were speaking, the Red Sox team total on one page is 5.5 minus 135 to the under. So the Sox to get to 6 or better, or a touchdown, you can get a plus 115. Well, at the other site, they have now moved it to 4.5 over, minus 140, and that's too much juice for me. So it's one of these, if I said to you, if you're playing the Red Sox team total tonight, you take the plus money at over 5.5, plus the 115. You don't run to the window and do the 4.5 minus 140. This site here has 10. I will go 2 Texas homers, though, believe it or not. I will go Corey Seager. What do you got for him?
225.
Oh, yeah. There's Chalk.
Yep.
And Mr. Garcia.
Garcia, that was the other one, 285.
So there's your 2 homers there. And Jeff, you said the Red Sox. I know I did. I'll ask you 2 from the Red Sox here. Obviously, Devers.
290, so they're not bad.
And I didn't even know if he's in the line. Is O'Neill up there in the lineup today?
I don't see. Let me go back to my projected lineups. I don't see his odds. I don't think he's in that. No, I don't see him in the projected lineup.
Okay, I think he's saying, all right, I'll go. I'll stay to the left side. How about Yoshida?
Yoshida. I was going to say the other name that I was going to say for the Rangers, at least compared to his production, is not bad. On the season, only 3 homers. He obviously hasn't been playing. Josh Jung is 380 for the Rangers, so that's not bad for where he's at. You said Yoshida, though. 650.
Well, I kind of cringe when Mookie was 5-1. So again, that's a long shot there. So
You
keep
did.
an eye on that one.
Yep, there you go. But yeah, I one of these guys, there's probably going to be some fireworks one way or another out of this game, if not both ways there. So, Royals and Twins, another one we can, an impressive performance from the Twins yesterday. But you've got Zevy Matthews on the mound making his MLB debut for the Twins. Down the line, Dodgers and Brewers, Stone versus Ray. Nearly a pick'em in this one. Dodgers in some books getting the -115, -120 looks there. Not sure if you had any interest in that one. Pirates and Padres, another one tonight. Padres -250 after a 2-1 win last night. Michael King versus Luis Ortiz. I think, what were we at last night? -200 on this Padres team, correct? Yeah, and now we're at -250. Luis Ortiz, for what it's worth, last 3 times out has not been good. 6-4 each of the last 2. And Michael King has been a little hit or miss, but last time out, a little regression had been nice for a little bit before that there. Any way to get into this one, respecting the number with the Padres, they are playing some really, really dang good ball right now.
Yeah, I talked about great road trip, come back home, and they find a way to win 2-1, and that's what they usually do at home here. Again, the only way you can get into the Padres today is one of 2 ways, and the first way costs you too much if you try the first 5 minus the hook. So the only thing I could suggest tonight, if you wanted to get into the Padres game, full game minus the 1.5. I think it's around -119 right now.
That's right. Yep. Let's see. Other than that, Blue Jays, Angels, Gozman and Fulmer, nothing crazy there. Those 2 teams, obviously, kind of cruise control right now in the mediocre category there. Braves and Giants, though, late night game. Kyle Harrison on the mound for the Giants to get the start. Has been, for the most part, going 5+ innings, 5 to 6 innings, 5 hits, 2 earned runs last time out. Charlie Morton, Brown Chuck on the mound for the Braves, coming off of a 9-hit, 8 earned run outing at home against the Brewers, 4 homers allowed. The time before that, 0 earned runs. He's the last 4 starts. He's gone 1 unearned run allowed against St. Louis. Follows that up with 7 runs allowed at the Mets. Comes back home and takes care of the Marlins for another 1 unearned run, and then follows that up with 8 runs allowed at home against Milwaukee. Now on the road against the Giants. Would you like this Giants team? I guess I don't know. You got the Braves team, who obviously 62-56 has been pretty much back and forth here. Giants came on a little bit for a bit there, lose their last 2. Are we respecting the Giants as being pick'em with the Braves, or would you like the Giants to be a bigger home favorite after what's going on with Brown Chuck here?
Overnight, -115 to the Braves. Now there was a flip in the morning. San Fran -109, Braves 101. Pitch and duel sale last night. Was it 1-0 in 9 or 10 innings? I think it was 10 innings. Great game. Which team's going to show up? Again, this Atlanta team's leaking oil bad. Yeah. We had the Brewers team total against Ground Chuck his last start, so we were very happy there. He's been every other. Again, my heart's with San Francisco. I've been on the wrong side of Harrison the last few times. Again, if I had to get in here, I would dive into the short number on San Fran. First 5, hopefully it's the bad Ground Chuck, and get in, get out, win the first 5, and then we don't have to worry about the back end here. Opened up at 8.5, now 8 at the circa -15 cents. The 2 team totals both juiced, both 3.5 overs. Braves, you got to lay 40 cents. San Fran, you got to lay 35 cents. So my eyes don't lie. This is, they want you to bet the over here, and it's probably, again, first 1 to 3 wins this game. Don't lay the juice on either team total. Slight lane, San Fran first 5.
I like it. This is a massive series. The Braves hanging on to a 1-game lead in that last spot on the wild card. 2.5 up on this Giants team here. This is a 4-game series, so Braves obviously get the win last night, but Giants got to at least salvage a split. Obviously, if they win 3 in a row, they're really cooking. And the nice part about this, if they can manage to, obviously break even or obviously 3 out of 4, they get a total of 5 games between Oakland and my White Sox. So if they can get through this one with some momentum, they should be able to breeze through those 5 games at least 4 to. I should hope for at least a 4-1 stretch out of those 5 games there. That should be the goal there. So Giants still could be in business here if they can handle some good games here this week against the Braves, my friend.
Well, again, let's be honest here. Padres, I think, now hold the number 1 wild card spot, and the Diamondbacks the number 2. So Dodgers have seemed to tied. Okay, Dodgers have seemed to found their form. Don't forget, Mookie just came back. Muncie's coming back. I heard Bueller's on his way back. I'm not counting on Yamamoto. So the fact is, again, it's gonna be Dodgers, most likely Phillies, Padres, Diamondbacks, and we all assume the Braves. But again, there's no assuming there. They're leaking oil bad. And I'm telling you, I said this weeks ago, I'll say it again. They are one Chris Sale trip to the IL from being out, and they're holding on by a string. I haven't heard boo about Albies in a long, long time, so I'm not holding my breath for the Braves right now.
Nope, and they've got some teams. One of these teams, if the Braves aren't getting hot and turning things around, I mean, one of these teams, you got the Mets on their tail, Cards on their tail, Giants, obviously, this week important. And then a couple teams still kind of lingering around if they can get a hot streak, but now obviously not holding their breath too much for those other. Cubs and Reds 4.5 back, not holding their breath for those teams, but a hot streak you never know. But again, not holding their breath there. So that is all I have. Any of these other few games that we glossed over that you'd like to say something about, my friend?
No, it's again the same spot, so I think that's our calling. Closing thoughts, Riley.
Closing thoughts again. Nothing too crazy, my friend. We'll be getting geared up on. I think next time we will be together will be Friday afternoon, my friend. So we'll be coming ready with some UFC pay-per-view thoughts for this upcoming weekend. We actually have. I don't have any thoughts on it tonight, but you have. If you're dying and itching to watch some more UFC, you've got the Return of the Contender series. So even more so when I talk about those fight nights, it's times to learn about some of these people and see how they go. These people are not necessarily guaranteed trips to the UFC, but the guys who are impressive are often the guys that the next step is some of those undercards on those fight nights, and then if you're paying attention on here, you might have a better idea of what to expect out of them when you get to those fight nights. So if you're bored and you're looking for something to watch, I think it is on ESPN Plus. So I don't want to give them a free plug necessarily, but you do have to have the ESPN Plus, my friend. But if you're itching for something, I think there's 5 fights starting tonight at 6 o'clock my time, 7 o'clock your time. But beyond that, you got the UFC 305 this weekend. So we will come ready to go on Friday afternoon, my friend.
In 14 minutes, Scotty Webb in the batter's box will be breaking down the MLB the way he does, of course, analytically, sabermetrically, and all the alphabets with the alphabet soups there. 8:32, I will be on Sports Grid tonight with Scott Wenzel and Dave Sharapan. We'll be talking about the late night games and, of course, probably breaking down some in-game lives, what's going on around the diamond, as those games will already be an hour and a half in there. On Wednesday, of course, 5 p.m. Eastern, myself and Brady Kannon, Tea Time Wages, breaking down the St. Jude Championship, week 1 of the FedEx Cup there. And then Thursday, Gamblou comes back for UFC, and of course Fight Night Fortunes will be breaking down, of course, that pay-per-view card there. And as Riley said, me and Riley will be back on Friday, 4:30, 5 o'clock, give or take a few. So for myself, Jeff Dawson at EC Sports Invest, the one and only Riley Magnuson at Riley_Magnuson, the one. And of course, a shout out, if you're listening, to Mr. Lucky. Senor Lucky, your time of year is coming. Here come the Dodgers getting ready for the playoffs. Football season, hopefully you're back for year 3 of the circa. And as always, thank you for all the trust and support that you do for us and ECSI as part of the family on social media. So we will see you soon, guys. Best of luck tonight.